Vernier Scalloper.
Upside down, but you turn me inside out. Yeah, today we're discussing Inside Out 2. So the first thing I want to talk about is how we're introduced to this idea of the back of the mind. Okay, the back of the mind. Okay, the back of the mind were our unwanted thoughts, things that we want to, things that we want forgotten, things that we want shoved away, things that we want to erase, things that are just too embarrassing and shameful and sometimes traumatic, and we want to go that is the whole point of having the back of the mind. So Joy is telling us about this beautiful feature, and we see her take the balls. You know, Magnifico shouldn't be allowed in this place. He will get really turned on. So she takes the balls and she puts them into this tube, and the tube will take the balls and go send them to the back of the head. Okay, send them to the back of the mind, and that memory will be forgotten. At least for now, you know, we can always fish them back out, but we can safely say that our main character, our protagonist, Riley, who is now a teenager, you know, she's entering puberty, she will not be thinking of those things for now once you send them back. And I think that is really cool. I think that is a really cool feature. I really like that. Okay, but upon entering the second film, memories are coming back to me of the first film. Okay, I did watch the first one. I did watch the first one, and I really liked the first one. I really enjoyed myself, and I totally, okay, no, I did not cry, but I was on the verge of crying when the imaginary friend was dying. That was a very sad scene. And in the first film, it has been established that Joy is the leader of the pack because she's just so experienced. She's been here since the inception of Riley. And that those feelings have come back to me. So I put myself in the place of the others, you know, of anger, especially. I really love anger, sadness, and the other two, disgust. What is the purple one again? Yeah, the purple one. I put myself in their place, and I had this thought: why does Joy get to be the leader? Okay, I know she's the oldest, I know she's the most experienced, and I feel like that itself should explain, but I don't really like authority, you know, and she's in no way a bad leader. She is a very good leader, but you know, that dark side of me just wants to fuck around and find out, you know? Sometimes you just want to fuck around and find out. Sometimes you just want to fuck with people. Sometimes you just want to just kidding, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just want to like cause some trouble, cause some mischief, you know, like cause a commotion. And I kind of want to be one of them, one of the other emotions, and I kind of want to like fuck around and find out. I want to fuck with Joy, you know. I want to like get in, ruffle her feathers, and see where we go, you know. Let's see how joyful you are. Am I a bad person for wanting to do that? But I guess that's the whole philosophical fundamentalness of this whole story, isn't it? Like are you a good person, are you a bad person? Like are the emotions necessarily bad? Are any emotions necessarily good? You know, there's the whole like philosophical. But tell me, wouldn't you guys want to fuck around and find out like what makes you think like what like Like, you remember how in the first film she wants all the balls to be yellow? Like, bitch, then what is the point of the rest of us being here if we can't have our own balls as well? Okay, we all deserve to influence Riley's life. You're not the only one, Joy. You may be the leader, you may be the first one, you may be the one who's been here since the inception, but we deserve the right to, okay? So this is why I kind of want to fuck around and find out. I want to push her into the tube and send her to the back of the mine. Perhaps that is why you don't see a emotion called Vernier Scalloper, because I would be a fucking bitch. I would be a bitch, I would be a petty bitch just because, you know, not because I actually want to hold any grudges, but I just want to fuck around and find out. Now, Disney really did it with this film, okay? Like, they really hit the gold. They really hit the jackpot and they really struck gold. Yes, that is correct. That is the right terminology. They really did that. They really did that with this film in terms of romanticizing emotions in such a palatable way, fun way, nerdy way. You know, you can get very nerdy with it. You can get very, very, very nerdy with it. I'm very sure this can spark a lot of conversation amongst the different sub-communities of nerds. Okay? It is very good, and it is also really funny. I actually had a lot of fun and I had a lot of laughs. Some of the laughs are really ugly laughs, and I don't get that a lot with a lot of these children's films, you know. And of course, I like the part when the construction workers burst into the control room and started fucking everything up, you know, they're smashing everything and being like, puberty is here. And they even had the sign that says, puberty is messy. I was gagged. That was, you see, it's so good. Like, this film is so good. It's so smart, it's witty, but at the same time that is physical comedy. It can be nonsensical, it can be cheesy. It's all of those good things together, balancing out each other, just like how the emotions are balancing out each other. That is, until the new emotions come along and we get anxiety. Okay, the other three, I don't really care about the turquoise one, the boredom one. I also don't really care about Inui, that's the name, whatever. But I do have something to say about embarrassment, but before that, anxiety. They had to make anxiety this really fugly looking quirky quirk. So no. Anxiety does not even deserve the quirky quirksonian quirks title. Okay, no. I do not like anxiety. Anxiety is being annoying. Anxiety, from the moment they stepped in, and I'm saying they because I don't know what is their pronouns, but from the moment that they stepped in, I was like, who is this bumbling, like, who is this fool, like, who is this joke, who is this clown? Are there any, okay, genuine question, okay, are there any people out there who actually like anxiety as a character? And I don't mean in a functional way, like this character functional way in terms of the plot and driving the plot. No, I am talking about the character on its own. Do you think anxiety is cute? Because fuck no. And of course, embarrassment has an exposed butt crack. That is genius. Whoever thought of that extra detail, the butt crack? Because we all know someone in our life who always has this butt freaking crack, this coin slot. Okay? We all know that one person who is always bending down, like they don't even have any reason to be bending down, but they're somehow always in a compromised position, and you see their butt crack. And sometimes the butt crack has hair. Now the comedy is really good, especially when they do the back and forth thing, when they show the emotions in Riley's head and then they go to the emotions in mom's head and they show the emotion in dad's head and the emotions in her friend's head. It's like it's so cool. It's like it gives you this idea that everybody has this very complex inner working in the mind. There's always this turmoil, this fight, like how, who, when, why, what, like who is going to step forward and put their hands on the controls. How are we going to react to the situation? Are we going to react with anger? Are we going to react with disgust? Are we going to react with the mixed emotions? If you guessed it, you guessed it. Anxiety is the villain of the film. And they're here to take over the controls. So another thing that we're introduced to is the sense of self, you know, what makes Riley Riley at this moment. And it looks like this like blue tree vein thing. It's really pretty. And in this moment, anxiety plucked Riley's sense of self from the little stand that it was on and sent it to the back of the head. Bitch, yo, dude. And yes, anxiety is a backstabber, betrayer, bitch. And that is a reason for me to hate on them. But yes, it is very fun. I do enjoy this villainization of anxiety. It is very meta. Is that how you use that word? It is very meta because in real life we do not like anxiety. Okay, we do not like anxiety up in this beach. So Joy and friends are stuck in the labyrinth of balls and they are lost. They're trying to get back because they need to regain control over Riley before anxiety ruins Riley's life. And anxiety really thinks she's onto something by being, I have to plan forward. I have to plan forward. I have to plan. She really thinks she's about to change, you know, Riley for the better. But come on, we all know how anxiety works. It is not going to be that smooth sailing. And that is why Joy and her friends are bent on getting back ASAP. And in this dire moment, they decide to send somebody up the tube to climb up the tube actually back to the control room. And it is absolutely crazy. Like you would have to climb up the tube and then you have to go all the way back. And in that moment they decide, because everybody is so unwilling and Joy being the leader, she cannot do it herself, they send Sadness up. They really said, send the fatty up the tube. That's rough, man. That's rough, man. That is a hate crime. That is a hate crime, okay? That is a hate crime. Okay, I know we're talking a lot about the emotions here, but back in the real world, Riley has chanced upon the coach's book, the forbidden book, the red book. The red book that tells you what the coach thinks of you, whether you will become one of the Redheads, Redhawks, Red Eagles. Well, what are they called again? You see, I do not like sports. I don't even fucking care about the name. The red something, okay, the Redheads. Let's just call the Redheads. Are you going to become one of the Redheads in the coming? You get it, okay? Are you your fate? Your fate is written in this forbidden crimson tome, and it is in this moment where I was thinking, oh no, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. Riley's going to sneak in and read the book, isn't she? And it is all going to be the work of anxiety. And the other three emotions that came along with them, with anxiety, They're enablers, I swear. Anxiety is out here making orange ball, orange ball, orange ball, orange ball, orange ball. Like, anxiety, you need to chill, okay? You need to chill. No pun intended, but you really need to chill. You need to calm down. You need to calm down. You're being too loud. Okay? It is a bit much. You are getting carried away. This is Joy 2.0. Okay? I mean, yellow, orange, not that far from each other. It is giving the joy complex. It's giving the joy syndrome. It is giving Joy Part 2, the remix, the extended mix, the dance mix, the never ending mix, the 10-minute version. Stop! And this film is filled with so many puns. Sarcasm, a chasm that is filled with sarcasm. One in which when you shout from one end to the other, your message comes across as sarcastic. Boy, are we so lucky to run into you guys, will come off as, boy, we are so lucky to run into you guys. That is so fucking funny. I love it so much. It's even funnier because the workers who are listening to the emotions shouting for help from across the sarcasm, it is how the workers are on their lunch break. They're probably just trying to chill for a moment and they hear these insults, these condescending comments, this sarcasm. Like, what is the deal with these people? They don't deserve this shit. They're just trying to have a lunch break. They don't deserve this shit. But do they know that it is a sarcasm? Do they know that they're actually at the sarcasm? Because if they had known, they would have inferred that the message was not supposed to sound sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they know that they are physically at the place that is meant to distort your tone when you speak? But that is besides the point. It was a really funny scene. While this is all going on, Joy and the other emotions are still lost, okay? They're still lost in the labyrinth, and Joy has an emotional breakdown, warranted. It had to happen at some point. And the others comfort her, blah, 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 okay? Emotional. And they get to the top of the shelf to get a better look at where the fuck they are. And they're like, oh, I can see the back of the mine. We can see it. We can see it. It's there. It is inside. I was like, what? I was like, bitch, that is so far away. How are you guys still so far away? That is not near at all. I mean, I guess they're very positive, but oh my god, it is so far. Are we ever going to get to the back of the mine at this rate? At this point in time, Augustus Gloop is already back in the control room, sneaking around, and you guys are still fumbling about the labyrinth. You guys have barely made it out of the labyrinth. As I mentioned earlier, you know how anxiety is taking over the controls and creating orange ball over orange ball. And as much as it's very annoying to witness, I do like the detail of the orange balls taking over the rest of the shelves in the control room, because when you look around you can see that the original balls that we're so used to, the yellow, the blue, the red, they have all been like taken over. They've all been replaced by orange and the turquoise and the purple, but mostly orange, okay? Mostly orange because anxiety is a control freak and wants everything to be about themselves. And a side note, I was also thinking, will we ever get the version of Inside Out where Riley is a skank? Perhaps Riley is now a young adult and she's experiencing sex for the first time. She's out in the dating pool. She's out in the meeting pool. Will we get to see Riley as a skank? I guess never, because this is Disney, so... But I would love to see a version where Riley is a slut. Like, aren't you guys curious? Aren't you guys curious? There has to be an emotion that is more sexual, desire, scene, you know, taboo, something like something fun, something spicy. Oh, I would be so seated for that. I want, you know, crimson red. I want hot red. I want pink. I want hot pink. I want what else is like a sexy or sex related color? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. And I want to see the thoughts, okay? I want to see the thoughts turning in her mind. Turning in her mind. Like, ooh, 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 ooh. Is this person going to make me ovulate? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna whoo, and then the two, and the ooh, and And you know how she looks at that girl, that hockey girl, the one that's her idol, the one that's the redhead, red eagle, red whatever, you know that one? Perhaps we could have another Raya and Kalanari situational, okay? We can have another one of that. How about that? Ooh yeah, like it'll be so funny to see all the emotions coming into play when all that sexual tension is happening. Like, it is. Yeah. Let's make it happen, okay? Let's make it happen. Ow! One of the fun moments is when joy and the emotions break into the anxiety office to hijack the system, okay? Or maybe not so much of break, but they sneak in, they creep, you know, they creep. Yeah, they take over, okay? They infiltrate and they take over and they because anxiety has all these little slaves, these henchmen that are churning out all these possibilities and all these outcomes that may happen to every single thing that Riley does. And that is the cause of the anxiety. And Joy and her friends, they plant positive outcomes instead of just the usual, oh, this is going to, it's bad, this is bad, it's going to happen, this is going to happen, it's bad. And instead they plant some good possible outcomes to balance out the bad ones. And this infuriates anxiety because anxiety is a control freak. They even won over the corporate slaves that are working for anxiety, probably working overtime even, and this shitty working conditions. And all together, you know, they fuck shit up and they celebrate. But it is short-lived because the police come like, wah. So Joy and the emotions escape. They're like, skirt. And you know, while all this is happening, Sadness, like I mentioned earlier, has managed to Augustus gloop her way back into the control room. She actually did it. Well, not exactly. You know, she was on the way there, but because anxiety was sending balls back through the tube. Was that what was happening? You know, they were sending the balls back through the tube, and as a result, it pushed Sadness along with it. So she kind of cheated, okay? She was lucky. She was lucky, okay? But kudos to her for trying, okay? Kudos to her. And with the controller, she took over Riley's actions for a moment, you know, just for a short window of time, because things were getting ugly, you know, things were getting bad in the real world, you know, so she had to intervene. She is the only one that can intervene because the other emotions that are with anxiety are just enablers, okay? They are losers, they are submissives, they are betas, they are enablers. They just stand there and, well, like, what the fuck are they even doing? They're lazing around, lying down, standing around, commentating. Like, what the fuck are you guys even here for? You know, like, what? Like, what are you guys contributing to the grand scheme of things? Right? Like, if you look at the balls, it is still mostly orange and, But seriously, what the fuck are the other three even here for if you're just going to let anxiety do every single thing? You freeloaders! But sadly, eventually Sadness gets caught. It's okay, okay? Kudos to Sadness once again because she has outdone herself. She has done very well for herself, and we should all clap for her, okay? We should all clap for Sadness because she lasted a good amount of time, okay? And kudos to Embarrassment for not exposing her in the first few seconds, because if he did, that would be very asshole of him. But if he did, that would look very shit on Sadness, you know. That would look really bad for her. It would be really embarrassing, like, wow, you managed to get here and you're already caught. But he helped her, so she survived for a long time before she is eventually caught by anxiety. Because she was hiding in her bed under the blankets, and she was glowing because of the controller. And once again, kudos to Sadness, okay? Good job, good job, good job, but you could have picked a better hiding place. Why did you hide there? Well, I guess there isn't like a lot of hiding spots left for her, you know, or hiding spots there left that would accommodate her figure, her mass, her volume. You know where she could have hidden? She could have hidden with Grandma Nostalgia. She could have hidden in that room. No, but it appears that nobody's interested in entering Grandma's room, so she could have joined Grandma. I'm sure Grandma would allow her to stay there for a minute or two. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't help a little bit sweet nostalgia. So yes, Sadness did her best, and the way she swiped the controller off of Inoue's hands. Is she the MVP of the film? That's debatable, but the swiping of the controller, pro place. So there is a moment when joy and the emotions reach the mountain of balls, the balls that were sent to the back of the head, to retrieve Riley's sense of self. The sense of self that anxiety discarded because they're a self-centered bitch! And it is in this moment they're wondering why. Why is Riley's sense of self wavering? What is happening? And they come to the realization that maybe this is just what happens when you grow up. You feel less happy. The moments of joy have become less frequent. And that is just the reality of life. That is the reality of growing up. That is the reality of maturing. You can't be happy all the time anymore. And we kind of learned that. We had a little taste of that in the first film, where we understood that you cannot only experience joy all the time. There is space. We hold a space, as Delta Work would say, we hold a space for all these different emotions because we are complex people, okay? We are complex beings. But now in this second film, we're taking that understanding to a new level, to greater depths. And it is very sad. I got a bit emotional at this part. I was like, wow. Damn. Yo, dude. Fuck, man. And I also had this thought. I wonder if the children who watched this film, I wonder if they understand what this sentiment is about. And I also think that this is the type of film that you watch as a child and you know, you enjoy it, blah blah blah, but you rewatch it 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road and it hits you even harder. Because unlike the first film, I am not sure if they would get this particular idea, you know, till they start to mature and go through puberty and enter adulthood. And that's when this concept, this reality will really hit. And it will seem really real. Disney really ate with this, okay? They really did it with this one. The creative team, whoever thought of all this fun. And this point is re-emphasized when they all get back into the control room and they try to stop anxiety and they put back Riley's original sense of self to realize that it's not working as it used to. Why? And anxiety tells Joy, you know, we don't get to choose who Riley is, who Riley wants to be. We can influence her, but ultimately, she will decide who she becomes. And you remember at the start of the film, we get a very brief comedic scene of Joy sending all the balls to the back of the mine, and we think like, oh, that's interesting, that's really cool, you know, the whole system of sending things back. But now we understand that doing that, forgetting, trying to deny what has happened is not exactly the best way to go about life, okay? All these things that we may try to erase and evade and pretend like it didn't happen, they are also important parts of ourselves. They mold us to who we are today, and we should embrace them rather than erase them. You know what I'm saying? And now that all the balls are back in the river, you know, the river that constitutes the sense of self, the veins and the you know what I'm saying. If you watch the film, you will know what I'm saying. And we finally get to hear Riley say, I am a good person. But that is not all. I am also this, I am also that, I am also everything, all at once. We're complex people. We're made out of so many experiences, so many stories, so many memories. It is not just one thing, it is not just one emotion, it is not just one type of ball. Disney really did it with this one, okay? They ate. And this is such a good way to sum up the entire journey. They went all the way, you know, Joy and friends, all the way to the back of the mine. They did so much. They did so much. And only to learn that that is not the real meaning. The meaning is actually something else. And those are some of the best types of lessons, you know, the best type of adventures is when you think you know what you're after, but then you learn and you realize that what you're after is something totally different. Okay, one final funny thing that I want to talk about is now that everybody is integrated into the control room, you know, happy family. Everybody is included, okay, now. I like how they have delegated anxiety to their own chair, their own armchair. And it is not a bad armchair either. It is quite a nice, cozy looking chair with a teacup and some tea and a little corner for anxiety to chill a bit, you know, like chill a bit. Chill. Bruh.
Now calm down, have a little cup of tea, and then we can, you know, decide what we want Riley to do with her fucking life.
A team effort in decision making for Riley, now involving the new emotions, including the problematic anxiety, and trying to make anxiety more productive rather than destructive. And if you think about it, they really just give anxiety a chair and sit down, bitch. Oh! Oh! So that is all for Inside Out 2. A review, a chit chat, a video by Vernier Scalloper. Please remember to subscribe, okay? Subscribe, like, comment, whatever. And be sure to stick around for the next video. Bitch!